right, welcome back, everybody. The Henderson Lions dropped a spot in the top 10 poll, down to number 3 in Class 3A. Let's see if that fired up the Lions tonight, taking on Class 4A Kilgore. Man, Dale Barnes just looks better and better every week. Look how cool he is in the pocket. Has that rifle and a wide open Jamie Anthony. Are you kidding me? 70-yard touchdown, 7-0 Lions with the lead. Dale Barnes not even close to being done because he's going to do this as well. Came scramble, throw across his body. There's that guy again, Jamie Anthony, coming back to his quarterback. Great teamwork there, guys, 14-0. And then maybe the coolest name in all of the nation, not just East Texas. We got Dale Barnes working his magic again. He's going to drop it off right here to Monster Brown. That's right, Monster. You go 80 yards. What a play right there. 26-0 Henderson. Now, Kilgore's got a little bit of pride, so they're going to try and get something on the board. They got a pretty good quarterback themselves, Riley Toller. And Riley, look at him, look both ways, scramble, gets some room, fires it down the middle. On the run is Shelton Tolliver. Gets a great block from number 5, and he goes all the way for the score. But it is a Henderson kind of night. 35-7 is your final score. Shane Stark was at this game, and Shane, Henderson just looks like they're getting better every week, if that's possible.
Yeah, they really are on offense, man. They are clicking right now, especially with Dale Barnes at quarterback. He finished the game with over 400 yards passing with his 4 touchdowns. Thing is, in the first half alone, 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. If he had kept that up for the entire game, he would have set the record for single-season passing yards. But, you know, when you're up like they were at halftime, they just kind of cooled down in the second half, ran the ball a bit more, but still, huge night for Dale Barnes.
Shane, do you get a sense with Henderson that, they've been to the mountaintop. They got the target on their back right now being state champs, but they really don't seem to be bothered by any of that stuff because they haven't missed a beat this year.
No, they really haven't. And I think a lot of that goes to the coaching staff, Deaky Meeks and his guys. I mean, they get these guys prepared week in and week out. And you saw last year when they had guys go down to injury, when Dale had his injury in the semifinals. They know how to adjust in game and practice. And so stuff like, being ranked high in the state and being a defending state champion, I don't think that's something that he's going to let, or he and his staff are going to let get to his team.
I agree with you. Hey, Shane, great job. And, man, you're getting all the good games these first couple of weeks of the high school football season as Henderson gets the big win tonight. Hey, Scotty, get those 4A scores for us. Lindale winning again. They take out Hallsville on the road, 25-12. Lufkin hadn't lost a knack since 92. Didn't happen this year. 69-14 your final. 20-14 Liberty Ilo. Overtime over Pine Tree. Man, the Pirates came close. Marshall Shreveport Bird play tomorrow at 2 o'clock. All right, we just talked about Henderson. Now we've got to talk about the top-ranked team right now, Chapel Hill, on the road to Carthage. And this is one of those games where last year it really propelled Chapel Hill to go all the way to the state finals after they beat Carthage. Mr. Clint Buckley on the phone with us. And Clint, as we look at the final score here, Chapel Hill holds on for a 21-20 win. But Avery Signs, you were tweeting about this a lot, goes down on crutches. What's his status?
Yeah, I talked to Chapel Hill's offensive coordinator, Chris Tabor, after the game, and I saw Avery Signs. It doesn't look good right now. He's going to get x-rays on his right ankle tomorrow. They're not sure exactly the severity of the injury, but he's going to get x-rays tomorrow. He was on crutches in the second half on the sidelines, and he's got it wrapped up in a boot right now.
Clint, clearly he is the heart and soul of this team on offense. He's had such a great start. How did Chapel Hill respond in your eyes?
Well, Anthony Kincaid was their leading receiver coming in. He went into quarterback for Signs in the very first play, took it 34 yards for a touchdown run, and that gave him a 14-7 lead. And then Jay Reagan rushed for 166 yards, doing a lot of the heavy lifting on offense for Chapel Hill, scored twice. So Kincaid and Reagan accounted for all 3 of the touchdowns. And the defense played well for most of the game. And then in the fourth quarter, Carthage made it scary there at the end. They scored with about 30 seconds left and went for 2, went for the win, but Chapel Hill was able to stop them to preserve the win and end Carthage's 22-game home winning streak.
All right, Chapel Hill does get the win. Thank you, Clint. Of course, we'll be reading your stuff on etfinalscore.com with the latest on Avery Signs, but he did go down tonight. We will keep you posted. Clint, great job there. All right, Spring Hill White Oak next. No love lost between these two schools because they're only 6 miles apart. White Oak has had the better start to the season. And Spring Hill trying to get that first win early on in this one. Lane Nesbitt is going to fire this one to the left side. What a catch by Matt Ballard there. They're in the red zone trying to get some points here. But Nesbitt going to get a little greedy here. Gets a little pressure on him. Goes to the back of the end zone. Not going to happen. Good job, Jansen McCurdy, with the interception. Those McCurdy's know how to play football over there in White Oak Country. But Caleb Carr, he's rolling out here. He gets a little greedy, tries to come all the way back across the field. Now he's going to say, I would have just read it there, Caleb. He's going to chunk it and get picked off by Ben Hollis. So Spring Hill holding their ground. Then just before the first quarter ends, Landry Lee now in at quarterback. He's extra dimension because of this right here. What a job of scrambling. Get inside the 5-yard line. That's where they give it to Greg Martins, and Mr. G takes it in for the score. Put that head down, young man. Final score in this one. Who's going to get it? Spring Hill is bragging big time over there in Northern Loneview Park. They take out the rival White Oak 38-20. ARP back home tonight taking on the Center Rough Riders. ARP Tigers, of course, had a brutal schedule playing Dangerfield and all those good teams early on. At this time, Kyle Copeland, speaking of good football players that run the family, the Copeland brothers, always good. Kyle gives it to Mike Potts there. Crowd loves it. And then more Mike Potts coming your way as we are tied 20-20 at this point. And Potts gets a great block from his tackle, dives in for the score in a close one.
Rough Riders 14.
30-30. ARP with the win. Good win for the Tigers as they move on and beat a good center team. All right, we got the producer of the ETFinalScore.com website, Chase Colson, here. All right, Chase, just heard from Clint Buckley. Chapel Hill's a story every week, but the last thing they needed was a guy like Avery Sines to go down because he's one of the best around.
Yeah, absolutely, Eric. And it's actually kind of surprising to me that Chapel Hill held on and won that game. Their defense really stuck in and held Carthage there at the end. And you got to feel bad for Avery Sines. You know, hopefully that his X-ray tomorrow will come out okay and he'll be able to come back soon. But you know, ankle injuries are tough to handle, and they've got Hallsville next week and then a huge game against Lindale in 2 weeks. You just got to hope that he's okay at this point.
And Chase, of course, we'll find out a lot about this Chapel Hill team as they've got to rally together. What'd you take from JT and Lee? I want to brag. I picked the Red Raiders to get the win, but they seem to just set the tone early and hang on. They've done that the last few times they beat them.
That's right, and Lee has always had this advantage of the running game, and John Tyler's had a lot of trouble stopping the run this season. They had the trouble against Lufkin and Longview, and then Robbie Lou with LaQuintus Wallace and Marcus White came out and really set the tone. They controlled the clock, and they did what Lee needed to do to win, and they got a couple of timely turnovers, and you know, JT just couldn't do enough on defense to stop Lee, and that's something that JT is going to have to handle as the season goes on when they play teams in their district. They're going to be able to run the ball a lot, and you're already expecting that John Tyler White House game to last until probably 2 or 3 in the morning with how many points they're going to score.
I did think of you when I was shooting the game over at White House tonight, and it took about an hour to play the first 5 or 6 minutes because of so much offense. Hey, we're going to check back in with you, Chase. Right now, though, Scotty, pop ups our 3A scores. Tatum gets it done against Atlanta 31-14. Van looking strong, 43-7 over Palestine, winning that one. Mineola, how about the Jackets? 42-7. They're undefeated. Kenton takes out Maybank 40-22. Gladewater, big win for them, 38-7 over Rusk. Brook Hill, kind of thought they might get the upset, but Pittsburgh at home, 3A school, they beat the Taft school right there. Athens wins over Diboll 44-12. Westwood, how about the Bullard Panthers coming back after that loss to Mineola, 38-16. And we also got Brownsboro falling to Crandall, 21-14. Sabine falling to Rains, 18-7. Break time right now. Up next, Jacksonville Gilmer. We promised it to you. We got it coming up next.